This is TWiT.
So Stacy, here's the note. Stacy isn't going to be here, but wanted us to talk about this because wants y'all to talk about this because it's terrible.
Amazon.
Yeah. So there's a great tradition in this country going back to Ben Franklin. That the public library. It's a great institution where when a book is published, the library buys some copies so they can lend them out to customers. Used to be there was a library in every town. But, of course, as we enter the digital world, times have changed. Libraries want to lend ebooks. And there are ways to do that. There are platforms to do that that limit the number of people who can borrow it at any one time. You still have to check it out. You get it for a limited amount of time. Just like borrowing a regular book, 2 weeks or whatever, and there's only a certain number of copies. The publishers seem okay with that, but guess who's not?
They weren't crazy about it, but they came to peace.
Publishers hate it.
Yeah, they hate it. That's a better way to put it.
There's no way libraries would be created now if you tried to create the library system now.
Which is too bad because it's a great public benefit, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
it's part of the culture to decide what goes in the library.
So thousands of public libraries offer ebooks and audiobooks free, just like they would regular books. There are various platforms. One of the biggest is Libby app. And with the Libby app, the first thing it says is, do you have a library card? And it then says, here's your closest library. Use my location, Libby. Allow location access. Here, Libby's found my library. Okay, good. There's my library. Sonoma County Petaluma Library. Yes, this is my library. And then I can use my library card to borrow books. Digital books, except if it's from Amazon. Because it turns out
Amazon is the publisher.
If Amazon's the publisher, yeah. Because in most cases it's Random House or Simon & Schuster or somebody else. But Amazon does publish.
That's one company now, but yes, it's all pretty much Random House now.
Yeah. Who publishes Dr. Seuss? Random House.
I think it's
no. That's
good question.
Oh well, we'll talk about that.
I thought it was his estate.
Oh, maybe.
Well, they own the rights, but I don't think that's the publisher.
Yeah. Anyway. Amazon has decided.
Penguin Random House. Yes, same one.
It's Random House.
Same place. Yeah, it's Random House.
They fool you because they have these imprints. Penguin. You think Penguin's Penguin Books. God, I remember when I first went.
Simon & Schuster.
As a kid, I went to Europe and, we're in England. We can get Penguin books. They were the best paperbacks. Yeah. Remember Penguin paperbacks?
The name of the name of the company should be Random Penguin House. Would you not agree?
Yes. They're missing a good bet. Want to borrow that ebook from the library? This is in the Washington Post. Jeffrey Fowler. Sorry, Amazon won't let you. He starts by talking about Mindy Kaling's book. It's gone missing from the library. Her new story collection, Nothing Like I Imagined, isn't in there because she switched to Amazon as her publisher. Probably gets a bigger cut, right? Because she's going with Amazon. And it says it's not going to sell downloadable versions of its more than 10,000 ebooks or tens of thousands of audiobooks. I wonder if this includes Audible, which it does, because Audible is a publisher of audiobooks as well. To libraries, they don't believe in libraries. And
apparently they've been talking
sad because people can also use the library to decide if they want to purchase a book, not just to borrow it.
Yeah, but the main reason you use the library is so you don't have to buy it, right?
Well, the main reason you use the library is so you don't have to buy it because you probably can't afford
it. But that's right.
Right.
But then there's some people that they love to read, but they've been burned a few times by buying a book that stunk out loud and, they get to borrow it and read a couple chapters and say, maybe I should get this.
Often the case that I'll buy an audio book from Audible or a Kindle book from Amazon and then end up buying a hardcover. But I can afford that. And so the whole point of a public library is to bring education to everybody, regardless of whether they can afford it.
Right.
Audible,
apparently,
by the way,
Amazon
has a great policy.
What's Audible's policy?
Return
a book.
I get a chapter in a book and say, I just hate this, and you can return it, no problem.
But you won't find Audible in the library because I just found out, reading Jeffrey's article, that it is also not going to the library. Amazon publishes books and audiobooks under its own brands, including, I didn't know this, Lake Union. Amazon loves doing this, making up these fake brands that have some snooty,
like Walmart does.
Snooty name,
DBAs.
like Thomas and Mercer. That sounds like a nice English company, right? Some guy
in business since 1746, I think. Yes,
tweed suit. Mr. Mercer's passed, but I still run the company. No, it's Jeff Bezos. Cosplay, Audible. So those aren't going to go in there either.
So can I give you a contrast to this?
Yes.
So I talked to David Weinberger today just because we hadn't talked in too long. And I didn't know this. He edits a series at MIT called Strong Ideas. And here's the fascinating, and I was trying to think about whether to try to do something like this with my book. They sell print editions of the books in the bookstores, but they also are digital open access.
Oh, nice.
Available on the PubPub platform.
So you could print
there's
it.
another book. This is to your point, Ant, and Leo. It's a sales pitch. There's a new book out called How Humans Judge Machines. So I looked and I said, wow, it's open access. I could download the entire PDF. I did. I read a few pages and I said, man, I got to mark this up.
Yep.
I bought the $30. I bought the hardcover.
Yep. Same thing with, speaking of Yochai Benkler, he did the same thing with MIT and his Wealth of Networks. And I did download it and I did buy it. So that's a good point. Yeah.
And he did it with network propaganda too.
Did he? Yeah. I think this is his. People like Cory Doctorow, Benkler are deep believers in this idea of open access. And Cory has always said, Cory publishes everything for free digitally. He's always said, I do just fine, thank you. People will buy my books. Even if I offer them for free, people will buy them.
I talked to the publisher at Macmillan, and Cory does drive them nuts because he wants the Cory way.
Yeah.
But he's so popular and so good.
He can do it. Yeah.
He can do it.
And thank goodness there are authors, because there's a lot of authors who don't have that clout, who just have to go along. Thank goodness authors like Cory who have the clout and all the incentive in the world to not make it freely available, still do. So
I would love to do and I might try to do it if they'll take it. But that, because an author wants two things, right? An author wants some money, but an author also wants to get ideas out there. Why do I blog?
Some would argue they want that second
people.
book as well. That second book deal.
There's a certain amount of faith. It wasn't Paulo Coelho who published The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He may have been the first to really embrace this a long time ago.
Yeah.
I interviewed him about this for my book.
Oh.
And he got caught by his publisher. He pirated his own books.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
he created demand in some languages.
Yeah.
But it worked.
In Germany. Yeah, he did it in Germany in particular. And he said that someone said, but people will steal your books. And he said, most of those people weren't going to buy my books anyway. So.
Good point. That's always the point I've made about game piracy is those aren't people who are going to buy the game. So The Alchemist, initial print run was 900 copies through a small Brazilian publisher. And they decided, they didn't reprint it. That was it. So he had another book which did well. The Alchemist took off, but a lot of it because he gave it away, and he's a firm believer in that, and it really has made him a star, a celebrity, a novelist.
He has sold. You want to guess how many books he has sold? How many copies he's sold so far? 350 million.
Wow.
Paulo knows what he's doing. However, so I saw him at, pardon me for this, since I don't do it anymore, but you can make fun of me still, at Davos. So Paulo and I were at the same dinner with Sergey Brin. And my publisher had sent over a box of What Would Google Do? So I was giving them away. And Paulo said, don't give them away, sell them. These people are rich. No. And he got mad at me for that.
The guy who's giving his own book away.
Exactly. He said, no. When you do it for the reasons I do it, but when it comes to selling the hardcover books, you sell.
Take the rich. Take the rich.
Yeah.
Yep.